Okay, aloha kako. I see some friends joining us and jumping in. So excited to have you guys here. Ai, kakahiaka no. Aloha tu. Aloha e ka ʻohana kanahele. Excited to have you guys. We're excited to do our session today. And yeah, we're gonna get started soon. I'm gonna start to share my screen here for our opening. So let me just get that set up as people are joining us. So I'm gonna share my screen. And here we are. And I believe we're already live on our Facebook pages and people are coming in. So aloha no to all of our friends that are joining us on Zoom and joining us on Facebook. On pūʻolo is my new word I've been hearing and using. Pūʻolo is Facebook. Oh, and let's see, is this, what happened to this? A little glitch on here. Oh, there. Is it running? Yep, it looks like it is. Cool. So excited to have everybody. I'm gonna make sure I bring up my Facebook so I can help to monitor all the communication on that side. And ooh, I see it pouring in on our Facebook side. We have over 100 people on our Facebook Live. So we're just really excited for seeing all of our friends, on Zoom as well. I see our friends joining us here, and some are already starting to say hi to everybody and telling us where they're coming from. So yeah, let's get it started because, we got one more minute. So you're welcome to jump into our chat, whether you are on Facebook or you're on Zoom. And some will also be watching the recording later. So, we're just super excited for that. Excited to have you all. And I see people are introducing themselves. They're saying they're from Makiki. Where else? South Kona. Aloha from South Kona. Let's see. Who's joining us there on our Facebook side? If you can tell us where you're joining from. Oh, wow, we got somebody joining. Oh, I think I remember seeing this before. From Rome, Italy. Woo-woo! Aloha, and aloha to our ʻohana out there and our friends. So really excited. I see more people joining us. A lot of familiar names now jumping on. And ai, ua kani no ka hola ma ka uʻuaki no. Ma keia honua nei no leila e hoʻomaka ana kako. We're gonna get started, and I'm gonna holomua on my slides here. We have our usual opening slides. A big aloha to everybody for joining us, and some of you have started to introduce yourselves. Oh yeah, some saying it's already Awinala in New Jersey. So if you can tell us in the chat where you are tuning in from, we would love to say aloha to your aina, say aloha to you and your ʻohana. I'm seeing Vacaville, California. Aloha no. Where else? Tell us in the Zoom chat. Mai ke ahu pua'a o ka pa'a. Aloha no. How about on our Facebook side? I'm actually, so my eyes go here and then go down because I have a screen on this side. Pana Eva, aloha. Wai'ehu Maui, Wailua Kauai, Pu'ohala Kane'ohe. Where else? Oh, Hilo is joining us today. I think this is Worcester, Massachusetts. Beautiful. We're getting people from all different parts of our honua, whether you're here in Hawaii or let's see, I'm also seeing Wai'anae, Ho'ai'ai, all kinds of people. So just loving it, loving to see, and aloha to each of you, to your ohana, and to your aina as well. It's really our aina that, feeds us and keeps us sustained. And, maybe we cannot go out and be with our friends, but we can definitely continue to connect with our aina, go outside, even if you're in an apartment building, go outside. There's some kind of lepo nearby. Go put your feet, go put your hands in the lepo. That's a very good therapeutic way. We all need that kind of like reconnecting. And so, this is a good time for that. Aloha to Kupuna Sabra Kauka joining us from Kalapaki. I also see Portland, Oregon is here with us today too. So aloha no. So my next question, and we've used this before, but we like to bring kupuna into our circles as well, whether they're here physically with us in your hale, but also those that may have passed on, and they're in our hearts, they're in our na'au, they're in our minds, and we want to send aloha to them. So who is that kupuna that you would like to say aloha to? Maybe you can put that in the chat, and we will, I'll share it here, and we'll put a kahea out to any one of our kupuna that we want to say aloha to. I see people joining us from Ele Kauai, from Kentucky, and Granny Doris DeRego. So aloha to Granny. So many wonderful memories and times, and just love being around all of our kupuna. Tutu Jenny Anderson is one that we are bringing into our circle today. Who else? Is there any others out there? And I mahalo that I see our Kanayo Kana team is giving us some heads up on some of the materials you're gonna need. So this is a good time for that too. Is go get a manila folder. You can recycle a used one, and I found one that was used before. I pulled it out of my my little drawers here. So if you're a haumana, maybe you can go ask mom or auntie or grandma for a manila folder. And then, maybe a piece of paper, some scissors, pen, pencil, crayons, whatever you got around. Like the last time, my go-to is I have like these Crayola pens, and I have some black pens here. Sometimes I even have some Scotch tape just in case I make a little boo-boo or wanna, fix something. So those are some good tools to have nearby. Since our last session, I started pulling out my watercolor and crayons and all those things. So I got like my little art thingy here. So I see others, ku'u wahi tutu wahine o le'a, Mama Eli Haumea. So aloha no to all of our kupuna out there, and to the kupuna we bring into our circle today. We send lots of aloha out to all of you. So at this time, we wanna always start with a brief ho'olauna. And so I'm gonna take myself off of sharing now, and I'm gonna before I unmute our special guest and bring her on, I just wanted to say say aloha, and I'm Meleanna Oliveira. I'm tuning in today from Hanapepe Valley, Kauai, mai ke awāwa no o Hanapepe, Makamoku Okona, ma owai ka ili mane o ka auai kahi. He kakahiaka nani no ke ia. I'm just really excited to be joining all of you from Hanapepe. And, I want to say mahalo and aloha to all of my ʻohana from Hawaii Nui a Kea, That's the School of Hawaiian Knowledge at UH Manoa, and for the support that we're receiving from our leadership to allow me to help facilitate this kind of programming and to bring this kind of cultural programming into your hale, into your space. And yeah, big mahalo. And also I like to also say mahalo to all of our partners, and of course Kanayo Kana, which is our Kula Hawaii network, that has been our behind the scenes, the front of the scenes, the just getting it out there kind of gang. And so a big mahalo to Kanayo Kana, to Keala Iwi Kuamo'o for all of the support. All of our partners that are helping us get this online. So, like I shared before, when we click on the Facebook live stream, all of our partners will also go live with us. So aloha to our ʻohana that's tuning in through OEV TV, through the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement, or CNHA, OHA, the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, Mana Maoli, and also Hawaii Nui Akea. So yes, aloha. So we just welcome all of you joining us in here. And I'm gonna unmute and let our special guest, I started calling you our in-house resident paheona teacher. So aloha Meleanna.
Hey, aloha mai kako pehea o ko. Aloha kakahiaka.
Hi, aloha kakahiaka.
How oliawa ike o ko. I mean, oko, like everybody out there, I can see you all just enjoying this beautiful day. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Yeah, we're so excited to have you join us again in another session of Lei Ānuenue. And I see all your beautiful flowers on your right side there. Is that from your garden?
Yeah, everybody is. They all came to visit you guys because we planted roses out there. So I have a firefighter son. So this is actually called the firefighter. Oh no, check it out. Oh no, this one just make. But we have nauf upstairs that are growing that we planted. We got those from the grocery store because Easter week, and we have all sorts of bounty that we've planted on the grounds. We planted all this tea, and everything in this beautiful pūʻolo malia is from the garden. There's hina, we brought the ants in. There's banana, orange, and sweet potato. We even have sweet potato that we planted on the mountain, but small kind cheating because they're not growing yet. So I just got some from the market, or they were given to us. But I just wanted this to be here because we're actually going to be drawing pūʻolo, and we're going to be talking about what our gifts are. So this is our metaphor for today. And the big ike also is about kilo. In other words, if we're going to talk about a hoʻokupu, maybe I should hide this and ask everybody what a hoʻokupu looks like before. Okay, that's the pretest. Don't look. Forget you never saw this. Because on your manila folder, what I actually want you to do, I should hide this. Please draw what you think a pūʻolo looks like. Okay? So I'm going to hide this right now. You saw it, and if you weren't paying attention, voila, too late for you. Okay. So please do that first drawing, and do it lightly. And we call that marking or sketching. So if you don't know exactly what a pūʻolo looks like, I don't want you to freak out, but I just want you to be able to go, oh, I think it looks like this. And then if you want it to be attached, because we're going to be making cutout books today, I want you to be able to go, oh, attach it to the side, like this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm just attaching it, okay? If you could, that would be really great.
So we're just doing it
and then
on the side of the folder.
It's a vertical format so that you guys can see how, and then you just need to do the outline, okay? Because this is actually really an important way to start a work. And do the lines have to be perfect and unmessy. No, they just have to give you an idea of what you're doing, okay? So once you got that, we call it like a pre-draw. It's like a pre-test. You go, oh, small I know what it looks like, but maybe I don't. So then if you're really smart, you go out into the garden or you do something else. Look, you got yourself a pūʻolo. Okay, so the great part about pūʻolo are they usually are like in the good old days, no more the grocery store, right? So then you never have plastic bags, which is really a good idea. So what I did is I made this last night from all sorts of surprises inside. I'll show you, but I made this from the garden. So I got my tea leaf and I'll go show you guys how to make it. So as you guys are drawing, now you have something to look at. So if your pūʻolo doesn't look exactly like that, kind of like make, what's the word? Make allowances, make changes, because instead of just an outline, I want you to put in the contour lines. So what I mean by that is put in the interior lines to define your pūʻolo, okay? So I forgot I didn't include these beautiful leaves, you know, so I'm just going to do that, and I'm kind of committing to this thing in pen, so I better be doing it right. Okay, so I think I've got something that I'm kind of liking. Isn't it great, you guys, to actually have a pūʻolo to look like instead of in your imaginations try to come up with one?
Yeah, that's great to have. You know, I mean, like you mentioned earlier,
Yeah,
I don't know if everyone has
to actually have one here is.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, you know, that's why, and a pūʻolo is like a container, right? It's meant to be like a satchel or something that in the good old days, you know, where grocery store, so you have to go make your own. So I have to, this is a shout out to my beloved dear friend who taught me so much, Auntie Amelia Bailey. And I know her daughter lives on Kauai, and your whole family is very special. So it's important to have a shout out to special people, because your grandmother was a very good friend of mine, and we used to do hysterical things together. She'd invite me over and we'd do arrangements, and then I'd invite her over and we'd do arrangements to give as gifts for people, and we just had a lot of fun. And we used to eat the kind Korean food was our favorite. So with mihana. So I have to tell you, those of you guys, that's Mele and who's the oldest in that family?
You mean Mehana and Meleanna?
Yeah, Mehana. Aloha to you, Mehana, because your tutu was just one of my favorite people. So as you guys are going, I'm just doing something really simple, okay? You got that? And you can see it's connected to over here, right? So when I start cutting it out, that's the important part. When you cut something out, so you're gonna have like leaves like this. This is another example, yeah? And then you're gonna have something that looks like this, right? So that's what this is. So watch what happens. Yeah, good fun, right? So should I give you guys a little bit more time? Maybe as you guys are working on that. It's really helpful to have this pūʻolo here. So take advantage of kilo, of really noticing it, okay? And all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cut this out now. But I'm gonna attach my, I'm gonna keep it attached, okay? So this was another little revelation. And by the way, if you have a lot of extra lines, who cares? You're gonna get rid of them right now. And do you have to cut everything out perfectly? No, the answer is no, 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 no. So as you guys are working and you've got your pūʻolo to look at, what I want you guys to get excited about is as you cut around and get this thing kind of shaped, all you're gonna do is kind of think about, you can even think about being a pūʻolo. I would like to think about, have you guys be a pūʻolo, as in, what are you carrying today that is special, that defines maybe or tells others about you? So you're gonna be the metaphor is that you are a pūʻolo today. You are an umeke. So that's really quite beautiful. So as we're working here, I can still make corrections, okay? I'm glad I put that little leaf there because that's a cute little leaf. I didn't do that with, oh, I did. Okay, so you should have something like this. Pretty cool, right?
Wow, that's looking beautiful
Yeah.
already.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm excited.
we can give them just another minute or so to get their drawing. I'm still drawing on my end too. But
Okay.
you know, in your pūʻolo there, how many lau do you like to use? And I know it
Oh,
varies,
good,
but how many do
good
you like to use?
idea. They're actually about 13, anywhere between 8 if you have big lau, or 13. And then if you don't have enough when you're making it, you just add more to it. So as you guys are working on yours, I'm gonna work on mine, okay? And
Okay.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put, I'm just gonna go ahead and start a contour to this so that you guys can see it. And then I'm gonna actually, this is for fun. By the way, you guys gotta know that, you know, teachers of art, we love to teach art because we have so much more that we need to practice and start in, you know, in terms of making art. So if you guys were to say, oh yeah, Kumu, you know, this art stuff, it must be so easy for you. I would tell you, not really. I have to keep inventing and creating and thinking about things all the time. Like just now, I realized I want to cut the bottom of this thing even more. So, you know, you got to be open and available and flexible in your own mind, ouch, to doing new things all the time, okay? Because once you think you know it all, that's when you don't know it all.
Kumu, this is my drawing so far. How I doing?
Oh, looks beautiful, my dear. And you know, I this is something that goes for pohaku ku'iai. You see right up here, we have to make it small enough so we can actually hold it. Okay? Because what ends up happening oftentimes, we make this part too broad, you know. So try squish them in a little bit.
Okay.
And then all I did was go on the outside of this with green, and look, magic, voila.
Oh.
Isn't that cool? So the best part about that is I'm beginning a second piece here. So I can go back into this piece, and this can be my first piece. In other words, remember we did just the drawing, the outside. We can leave this like that now, and we can tell people, oh, when you're starting something, you need to do just the outline, the shape of an object. Yeah. Isn't that cool? So once you get your thing cut out, I'll let you guys just take a moment and then put in your interior lines and all that cool stuff. And those are called contour lines, right?
Contour.
So take your time, because I get so excited about this stuff.
No, thank you we love your excitement, you know, and you know, I will say mahalo nui because, you know, for some of us, I mean, we love arting, but we don't always feel really comfortable with it, you know, and I mahalo that you're making me feel comfortable to just get out these pens or get out these watercolors and just work it. And just thank you so much.
Well, you know what I have to say? I feel the same way about Kanani and anybody else who does music. I love to sing, but I don't have the time, and I love having interest in learning how to do more music, but I don't, you know, I don't have the confidence. So if this is going to help anybody be confident about their abilities, then mai ka'iloa, because what you want to do is just be able to try things. I don't want you to think that there's one way to do this. If I did this tomorrow, I would do this very differently. So I just want you to know that like I've never done a pūʻolo with crayon like this. So I'm just, as you guys are working, I'm working too, and learning all sorts of things. So that's the best part. And as you guys are working, I'm gonna be just working to finish, you know, coloring this guy because he's so beautiful. And, you know, typically when we work, my buddies and I, when we do large projects, we do a lot of research ahead of time, and we do some practice. So I just want you guys to know, we just don't like appear on the show, on the scene, I mean, and then just come up with something magical. It looks like that, but it's a lot more difficult. And it's like musicians, you know, or actors. You guys have to rehearse your lines. For artists, we have to do all that kind too. You guys got to know that, yeah? And so when you're blending colors, as you guys are blending colors, you know, you're kind of like you're exploring things, you're mixing colors. I'm looking at my pūʻolo going, oh gosh, you're such a beautiful pūʻolo. Thank you. So I'm always talking to myself. So my partner's always going, who are you talking to? And I said, well, I'm talking to the truth. I'm talking to the trees. I'm talking to my work. You know, like that.
Can you say something again about you? So I just finished cutting mine. You said something about adding color and then it shows up on the back. Can you say that again?
Yeah, let me do that again. So you got a shape. Oh, that's good. And so all you're gonna do is take the tracing around the shape like this, so that you can actually, and by the way, this was just decided this morning as we were working, because I've never done this before. So you guys all need to know that you are the first to see this crazy little idea birthed, okay? So I think there's yeah. So what I'm doing this for is taking a green crayon, which really makes a lot of sense, because now I've outlined my pūʻolo, okay? You see how that goes? Isn't that cool?
That's totally cool.
So then you got this shape now.
Oh,
okay. So this is just a reminder to remember that you start with an outline. Okay. And then you've also got this piece. Now this is a problem-solving event that you're just witnessing, because in the good old days, you know, when you're in school, you only get one piece of paper and then you go on to another. But I thought, what the heck, just fold a piece of paper in half and then make something smaller so that you can end up practicing. So this way you get to practice 4 times. You get to draw a couple times. You get to think about the outline. You get to think about the contour drawing, as in all of these lines that you get to put in, looking at something, which is a lot easier to look at than make up. So if you have that pūʻolo right in front of you this morning that Kumu Auntie made for you, then go ahead and use it, because that is the most genuine thing you could do, is like look at something versus kind of make it up. Because when people say, oh, I like draw any kind, I said, oh, no, you don't. The whole point is to draw something that is that you can see, that you can know, that you become familiar with. Okay, because that's really important. I've also, Malia, talked about using colors, because what you're going to do is you're going to create dimension in your objects. Okay, so if you're using a light green, it's time now to use a dark green. So what you want to do is you want to put in some of these lines with a dark green. So if I'm working on a pūʻolo, I'm working with 2 colors here. I'm working with a light green and a dark green. So it's really kind of exciting because they're such beautiful colors. They're grow colors, right? So I just want you guys to see the designs are really pretty straightforward, just like that. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
So this is actually, we're gonna make this. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I was gonna say, you know, like when you mentioned about kilo and looking closely at our tea leaf, you know, I mean, there's the different greens, there's some white, there's some yellow, some will start to yellow, you know, and even when looking at red tea leaves, there's so many different red tints in our red tea leaves, and they're so beautiful.
They are. And typically these pūʻolo are actually made with green, and it's not like they can't be made with any other key, but I actually really like the green, and I just think it's so beautiful. I also am doing for the first time, oh no, can you believe it? Is like there are all these beautiful lines, you know, on the, and on the T, it goes up. So I want you to see that. So I think I'm just gonna add a little bit more color here. And then this is so fun. I'm enjoying myself. You guys don't mind, yeah? Because I'm having fun too. All right, so what I want you guys to also get is that we don't want to like have any holidays, as in just make any kind. So as you're working, take your time to put in all those details, because right afterwards, in 2 seconds, we're actually going to use, I'd like to be able to use watercolor. Can you guys get your watercolors ready? And I'm doing the veins of the leaves. So teachers out there, you want to be able to have your kids learning about the quality of the leaf and what its uses are for, and great things like that. Okay, so they have veins, they have a midrib, they have all of these amazing attributes, right? So as you're working, I'm just gonna kind of get my pūʻolo ready to do watercolor with. Okay, sounds like fun, right? Because it's gonna be.
And you know, it's making me think about, you know, like you mentioned, because we have like kumus that are joining us. We have parents that are now turned kumu for homeschooling. We also have a lot of haumana. I saw Kamaha'o is here with us, and usually we have a few other keiki that are there joining us. And you know, for all of our kumus and makua, I mean, I like how you're already sharing that, you know, when we talk about an art project like this, there's so many ways. There's the science side of it. There's the math side of it. You know, there's the research and the olelo no eau. Yesterday, Mahina did a hands-on and showed us how she makes inamona. And that was really exciting to learn about the medicinal uses of our kukui plant, from using it for a cold sore or, you know, things like that. So there's just so many levels of lessons we can learn through a project just like this.
Yeah, and you know what? The interesting thing about creatives, all of us being artists, all of us, is that we just have to get out of our own way. Because that's actually the best thing I could tell you, is like when you think about stuff too much, you know why? Because the mind always traps you and makes you feel like, oh, I messed up, or I didn't do this right. When in fact, you know what you're doing. You just got to let your mind go take a walk, and then so that your intuition, your na'au, can tell you what to do, because that's really important. Like I've just painted a background for my pūʻolo, waiting for you guys so that you can see it. So that's the cool part. If you guys are ready, are you ready, Malia? You wanna paint your pūʻolo in?
This is kind of how mine is looking.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful, Tita. My ka'i, that's beautiful. Okay.
I'm loving your background in the watercolor. That looks like fun.
I know, it's kind of cool. And you know why we use watercolor? We use it because it is a very quick medium. And don't forget, it's watercolor. Watercolor is not paint. I do have paint over here, by the way. Maybe I'll get some. It's just tempera. And the good thing about tempera, that's really funny about tempera, is, where did this go? I know. The good thing about tempera is that it's for the little kids. So whenever you have tempera, don't put a huge amount of paint on. Just put a little bit. And by the way, when the tempera gets thick, just go put water inside. Not going to hurt it. Okay. And the great thing about tempera is you can take it off of your paper. It's the craziest thing. I'll show you what I mean in a second, or maybe I won't, just because you don't need to see that. Let's see.
You know,
paint.
No, yes. I was gonna see if I just wanna like check on everyone. I see people are still hanging in with us. Maybe put a 1 in the chat if you're actually drawing there and painting along with us. Can you put a 1 there? Okay, I see. We do have people working on it. Great,
Okay.
great. And you know,
Because
later on, we want to see what it looks like. Maybe you guys can, if you're brave enough, you can take a picture and you can throw it into the chat, or especially on the yeah, on either side. We would love to see, you know, where you're at. And I'm gonna try and play with some. I found this old watercolor. I don't know if it still works. Do the
oh, it does.
watercolors go
I have
bad?
watercolors from 20 years ago, okay? And I've got
Oh,
papers
okay.
that I wanted to show you. So maybe what we could do, as you guys are like finishing or working on your stuff, you want me to show you what else I've got in terms of cutouts? Would that be a good idea?
Sure, we would love to see some other ideas.
Okay, because it's really fun. And you know, don't be afraid of getting your hands wet. I mean, messy, because that's the fun part. Okay, so we've got this as a background, right?
Okay.
And then let's finish this. I might as well, because I'm gonna go ahead and mix my colors. Now you can mix tempera with watercolor, and then this over here is your palette, so you don't have to do anything with the special water. All you're gonna do is have your palette over here. This is a palette for water, so you don't need a separate container. I'm just gonna go put this, my leaves and things, I'm gonna give it that extra color, and we're gonna actually be able to be done with this thing. And you're gonna go, oh my God, how come Kumu finished hers? Well, I'm not cheating, but I'm using watercolor, okay? So I'm using watercolor. Do you guys see that? So, and then I'll go back into it, by the way. I'm gonna go back into this thing when it has dried, and we'll finish it even more. So I don't want you guys to think just because we painted most of the surfaces that it's done, okay? But it's a nice start. This is one pūʻolo. But the cool thing is, take a look, girl. I got 2 more to work in if I want to practice. Okay.
Wow.
So that's neat, yeah. And don't forget, I got this other side too. Okay.
Wow, so many different sides. I love that aspect of it. You know, that normally we just think like, okay, here and then open and then pow, but really there's so many sides to it.
But this is the hoʻopaʻapaʻa, right? This is the practice away for the time being. And I'm gonna just tell you guys that this whole process is really about practice, okay? And it's about observation. And we're just gonna do one quick example over here. But I wanna go back and just show you what happened with my little planet, okay? Remember that, the kind Earth? So I wanted to show, as everyone's just working on their pūʻolo, I want you guys to see what happens with black in my beautiful sky. See that little orb? That's the Earth, okay? Okay. So this is about scale and proportion. So all I'm gonna do is put color on this, and you guys are gonna be so shocked. You're gonna go, where did all those white things come from? And I'm gonna say, I kind of like put my oil pastel on there. So I've got my my onaiao, and I've got my stars in the sky. So I kind of fooled you guys, tricked you guys, yeah? Because I put my white oil resist. You know, the oil crayons are resist watercolor. So this is the fun part where you kind of go, oh my God, this is so much fun. Please do not treat watercolor as paint. It's not paint. But that's cool, because now you can see the Earth. Do you see that? Isn't that cool?
I do. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it like that, because I think that's gonna be good. And then I was gonna do something with this, but maybe I'll just wait, because it's like far away, and when it gets closer, near, it gets bigger. So I'm not totally done with this book yet, but I just wanted to show you I'm still playing. But remember this book we started with? Last week. So what I did is I just, oh, and by the way, nobody told me this was upside down. When I was drawing for you guys, I messed up over here, but I had to change everything. So I just want you guys to see that process is important, and seeing things that need to be changed, just change them. But then I wrote about the honua, which was really fun for me. And what else did I do? oh, this is where we started with an object. Do you remember?
Okay.
And then I just did all this. So it's like a little memory book, because it's going to sit here dimensionally, and I'm going to go, oh, I remember all those cool things that we did. Okay. So
Well, I
I
had a
want you guys
question.
just to, yeah.
So, normally, like when you go to an art store or something, there's actually all these different kinds of papers. And I used to always think that watercolor could only be done on watercolor paper. But you're showing us that you can do it on regular paper and manila paper, and it doesn't have to be a special paper.
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because you know what? They just try to make you buy things, okay? So don't let them do that. Because, for example, I have sponges that are older than I am. This happens to be a boat sponge, but it's a sea sponge. So if you're gonna spend big money on something crazy like this, that's $3-4, and you can get about 10 of these, what are you gonna get? So I bought this just to show you guys, this is a silly thing. Who needs to buy this? This is ridiculous. Save your money. Go buy a good art book called Arting and Writing to Transform Education instead. Okay.
Yeah.
But this sponge or other sponge, I think I have a sponge in here. No.
I was also thinking about sponges that are hala, our key hala. That's
they're my favorites
too.
They're my favorites. They're my favorites. I had another sponge, but who knows where it went. But as you guys are working, I'm going to show you a couple of other little things, because this is an umeke. And again, this pūʻolo, I'm just going to move it over to the side because it's so beautiful. I don't want you guys to forget it. I want you guys to know that pūʻolo are kind of connected to story, okay? And so are umeke. So we have these beautiful umeke in your families, okay? This is, what kind of umeke is this called? Who's got the name for this?
Anyone out there who wanna let us know what you think the name of this umeke or the type of umeke?
Yeah, with the lid.
With the lid. Anybody got a
Upoi is the lid. Good thing I have somebody helping me. Okay, upoi is the lid. So maybe this is an umeke upoi with the lid, yeah? But this could be something, this is one with poi. I would normally put poi in this, okay? So there are all sorts of protocols and really cool mo'olelo that belong to this mea right here. And this beloved thing was created and gifted to me by Uncle Saul. Appeal, yeah. But this little guy I use when I was with my kumu and your kumu, kumu keola, because it was used for protocol. So we put pakai inside. And I love using real things that are utilized so that the keiki can see that it has a purpose. Because we don't just have objects around, we have things that have meaning, okay? So with this lovely little umeke, there's a story. So the same thing applies when we're working with umeke. You do your outline, and then I just gave this a ground, and then you use your pencil and create all of your little details, right? So this is also something like this, right? And then maybe next week or sometime we can do, so it's got writing here, right? But maybe we can do some really simple printing, because printing is fun, and we can use, meat trays and cool stuff like that, because this stuff is really easy to do. So if anybody wants to do that, we can do that too. We can put a poll out, okay? Ooh. But what's great is it belongs to these beloved hands down here. So, the umeke comes from the farmer. This is Mark Stride's hands. These are his hands in his lo'ikalo. So there's our story is what we want to develop, okay? That's the important part. So as you guys are thinking about other books, I just did a couple extras because I love doing this stuff. Okay. So this was done as a lau, and this was done by a kumu out in Nanakuli, whose name I can't remember right now. But I love the idea so much so that I'm going to copy it. So I want you to know that because you have an idea doesn't mean you keep it for yourself, you share, okay? So it's like this for kamakau. I have a wonderful fish hook, right? Manaya kalani. but it's kind of cool because I get to do 4 different things with it. So I want you guys to know, this is for my anti-Irmgard. I'm not done with it, but I wanted to make sure that this thing doesn't fall apart. So I'm not done with it, but I'm writing about her, and I'll still be able to, you know, do stuff on the inside, but I'm not done with that either yet. Let's see. And here's a coconut. I thought this was fun because this got done in a teacher's workshop, because I want to have the kids think about being a coconut from far away, you know, and what that means. So yeah. So, but this umeke is important most of all because my beloved, another beloved kumu, talked about a bowl of light. Us being like umeke, like pūʻolo, we are containers, and what goes into our umeke. So that's kind of cool. So you can do story, and this is about all the pohaku that end up, you know, taking your light away, which is really interesting. You know, you're moloa, you're being namu namu about stuff. But then and he was so great because he said, if you have that kind of stuff, just dump your bowl out, and then you can, you know, be mindful, and then you have your bowl back again. So I love that part. So anyway, what's great about these umeke is that they come from a story, okay? So this is just a story that beloved, this is amazing. I love this story. Okay, so this really means a lot to me because this is where the umeke came from. Can you see this? It's a bad angle, yeah, sorry. I don't know what to do, but anybody see the umeke over there?
There's a lot of glare. Maybe
I know there's a lot of glare. Is that better? Oh yeah.
That's better. Yeah.
Okay, you see, yeah, you see the umeke next to the lele?
Oh yes. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And those, believe it or not, that they were supposed to be moons, but they didn't work out well, so they turned into umeke, which is even better because the umeke are holding traditions and language and protocol. So that's the great part about that. So I'm showing you this mo'olelo because it was something that 5 of us did as artists, 6 of us. We did this to share what a mo'olelo would look like. And it's very large. It's a 6 by 20 foot piece. So this is just a copy of it. And this is important so you can see where these source materials actually come from. And we'll talk about the other side later, another day. But I just wanted you guys to see as we're finishing up, as you guys are finishing up, that you can do really wild things with your umeke. So this is just another umeke. And then I wrote about myself, you know, what's inside of me, and then what the environment is around it, which is really cool. And then I changed my mind and made it umeke with the top, with the lid. What's the lid called again?
Po'i. Po'i.
Upo'i. Okay, mahalo. So I put this umeke upo'i in the house with my little hala mat, and then you see the outside, cute, yeah. So it's just telling a story, and then there's a vala'au about the story. So this notion of arting. Oh, and by the way, that's not a made up word because I use it all the time. I've used it for the last 25 plus years. With kumu, I used to say, okay, so if writers have writing, why don't artists have arting? So that's where that word that's where that word came from. I just want you guys to know. Okay, so this is kind of cool. Are you guys done with your pūʻolo yet?
I'm still
And
working on mine.
are we just about time or what?
Here's
Oh,
my.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
It's showing up a little weird
so
because
the
I'm
good
using.
thing about where you are is it's kind of, yeah, all you got to do is color now. Okay, color. And maybe you can just take your time and not rush that. So you can take your time, but you can also make a little one. I'm going to try to make a little one. Do you see this little guy over here?
Okay.
Isn't he cute? I'm going to make a little guy as an example. So as you guys are working, but I want to color this in. I want to color this in. Can you finish coloring this in? Should I? Okay. But because look at this. This is all writing on the back too.
Oh.
Cool, right? I know. It gets more interesting by the second. Okay. So maybe I'll finish this because I need to. And by the way, there's so many different examples. Oh, and by the way, you can see what happens. I think this is where this came from about 15, 20 years ago. I did a cutout, did the fish, and then did it again and talked about the environment here. And then I had the kids finish a fish. So I think this is where this is coming from. You know, if I think about it, this came from Kamakau about 20 years ago. I started with Kamakau and Kanu, Hoʻokaina, when they just opened up both of these schools. So this is where this came from now that I'm thinking about it, which is great to know. Oh, I have a memory still yet. Okay.
Yeah, so cool.
Let's see.
All these different
Yes.
examples you're showing us, are they on all different types of paper, or do you normally like to use manila folder?
I'll tell you, manila folder is the best because it's called oak tag. And so don't ever have to buy special paper for watercolor or anything else. Each paper works differently with paint, tempera, acrylic, but don't ever get, you know, seduced into buying something or intimidated because it says for watercolor only. That's if you guys are fancy dancy, and you're gonna sell your artwork for plenty money. But if you're not, then just enjoy the process, okay? So what I'm gonna actually try to do is I'm gonna actually go get water on this sponge and do a stencil real quick.
Okay, while you're doing that, how's everybody doing out there? I see mahalo and Meleanna, we can make our own mahalo cards and greeting cards. I think that's a great recommendation, and using this, you know, we see all these expensive like Hallmark cards or whatever. I think this is a beautiful way to get a message out to, you know, a loved one. And last time we talked about sending the books out to a kupuna or to a friend. Uh-oh.
I'm with you on that one. Okay, so that's a perfect example. Like, don't just open something, make sure you mix it up before. Okay, that is really important. We just learned something, right? Okay, that is terrible. This is an old sponge. It's so old, I was gonna throw it away. But in this case, I might as well make, instead of lemonade, I'm gonna make green. All right, it looks a little bit bluish, but that's okay. As you guys are winding up with this project, just know that the objective is to have fun. And if you're not having fun, then I was gonna say, don't do it, but maybe I'm gonna get scoldings for that, okay? I'm just excited that we've had a moment to play. That's looking pretty good, actually. So I'm just gonna put my sponge in here. I'm gonna get a little bit of color, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and come in here. By the way, these stencils are 20 years old. They were when I did a large project for Kumu and all the Maori that came in 1996. And what was so much fun is we made these stencils because we worked on a piece that was like humongous. It was 40 feet. So we did 80, and then it was 60, 120. So whatever that math is, it was big. So I just put on three little stencils, and then I'm gonna clean this up. And then if you use permanent markers, then this stuff isn't gonna run, yeah? Oh. So that's the best part. So I think I got a good lesson out of that one, just by making a mess on this thing. But this is what you can do in life. This is the metaphor, is like, really? You can do things and then clean up your mess? Yes, the answer is yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I just want you guys to know.
What kind of paint for that?
I beg your pardon?
The process you're doing right now with the sponge, is that tempera or is that watercolor?
It's tempera. You don't ever want to use watercolor for this because they don't ever give you enough. And watercolor is expensive. I have these little sets that I've had for 30 years, and I can still use the paint, but remember all that stuff that I dumped in here? I'm just cleaning it up. But I want you guys to know that as we work, we can keep working. And the whole point about art is that you can keep working into your pieces, okay? So as we, as I finished this one, see the paint, oh, by the way, please don't touch your paper and go back into it if it's wet, because you just break it, okay? Because it has to dry fully. Like I can't go back into this even if I want to because it's wet. So maybe by the next time I see you, if there is a next time, well, I'll show it to you. But you can clean your edges up and make some really cool corrections about things, okay? In other words, this has an edge. I want you to see that. See this edge? This just cleans up the paper. So when you're working, take a moment to do those little things and go back and use your colored pencils. You can use your crayons to do that kind of work because it really makes a difference, okay? And this was pūʻolo that I should play with, but Courtney did this. But maybe, I don't know, I'm so excited. So there you go. But maybe, are we at a good place? Are you guys at a good place with your pūʻolo and stuff?
Yeah, you know, there's we have about another 7 minutes here. I want to see if there's any questions out there. I see
Yeah.
comments are Lei Ānuenue. Another Kimmy is saying, I will make this for my coworkers. Thank you for sharing. I think this is an awesome way to help those who are home and are bored. Mahalo.
Oh my goodness. Never boredom. Never, never, never. Okay. You guys don't get to be bored ever. Not allowed.
So any questions?
Yeah.
Any questions or comments out there that maybe you want to ask about this particular project, or you know, somebody is saying, oh, that's a giant lao lao, they said.
Yeah, it is kind of a giant lao lao, but if you think about it, how beautiful that our kupuna actually were so thoughtful to bring things that were beautiful when they shared with each other. So I just love that part. And I think about all of my beloved kupuna aunties who made such beauty in the world, lei makers and people who are very special people who give us so much. So just mahalo to all of you who are creatives, because every single one of you are. And I think if I wanted to say anything today is I just want to remind every single one of you. By the way, I never thought I was any kind of real artist, but I know I liked it. So I just want you guys to know that that's the important part. If you love something, then you get better by practicing, okay? So you don't get better by complaining, I wish I was, or this or that. You get better by practicing. That's the exciting part. Was there a leaf there? No, but I liked an extra leaf, so I put it there. So I want you guys to know as we open this pūʻolo here, this will be the last fun part, because I actually made it for you guys so you could see that it's from the garden. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Because I need to use bananas for banana bread tonight. And I'm so excited because the bananas are causing the ants to come in. So I'm gonna have to open it like this. Isn't it beautiful? And look, you guys, this is my hina that I'm gonna put back out on the on the tree. And all of these bananas from my tree are gonna be used again. These are my oranges. We're gonna make orange juice with this. These are really almost snacks, okay? Fun, right? So I want you guys to know that we have so much to be grateful for. You don't need to go store every day like that. You just need to go plant banana trees. And orange trees. So this stuff all comes from the yard, okay? And then I'm gonna make banana muffins for the fam, because I'm stuck here in the house and nobody's letting me out. Love you all. Thank you for hanging out with us today. And let's play again, okay? And let's be creative. All right.
Wow. Mahalo nui and Meleanna, you know, and we had our Tita Noilani Arista is saying their pūʻolo, aka for this weekend, a Easter basket, maybe, you know. You don't have to, you know, have a special kind of basket there. You got your own little la'i, go out and gather some. That's a good ha'awina for this weekend. Earlier this week, we had hosted Ka'iu Odom, as well as Kim Burney from Papa'ola Lokahi, as well as Roots program, and they shared with us natural dyes. They were telling us how to make these natural dyes for our eggs. That was so fun. So I think we're,
And those are my titas. We love them. We love them. Ka'iu and Kule Kim and everybody. These are all my titas. We all hang out together and do fun things. So eo to everybody for all of the incredible things that you all are sharing, because this is so much fun. You guys want to come out to the garden? Let's go out to the garden and we'll put these things where they belong.
well, while we're closing up, and you know, the camera will follow, I'm gonna start to bring up some of my closing slides, because we have our usual closing slides here. So mahalo again to everyone for tuning in today. And I did see some questions about what's coming up. And so first of all, as usual, we like to ask you to, in order for us to serve you better, if you can help us by answering a few questions at kanayokana.net/survey, and this will help us, you know what kind of programming to bring up next, and what kind of fun to have with all of you. So just take a few minutes to do that here. And you know, we do have some Lei Ānuenue episodes coming up next week. So our usual schedule is on Tuesdays from 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Thursdays, 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then on Fridays at 9 a.m. like you're all here today. And the best place to get your schedule is to go to kanayokana.net/lei. And so this weekend we will be updating that schedule. And so please come back and check. I will give you some insights since you came in and joined us today. We do have one of my favorite sessions that's going to be coming up is with our Tita Hi'ilei Cavelo. And she's going to be doing everything you need to know about he'e, whether it's the anatomy of it or going out and catching a he'e, and then even the preparation, you know, from smoking it to drying it to cooking it. She's gonna be sharing a lot of that insight. So you gotta come back next week because we have so many fun things. Oh yeah, I just remembered. Also, Tita Pomeka'i Lyman will be sharing more about the mo'olelo of her ʻohana, and of course, honoring Tutu Genoa Ke'ave. So we're really excited for a lot of these upcoming programs. And also, we will also be starting very soon. Some of our sessions will be all in Olelo, Hawaii, Maka'olelo, Hawaii. And so we're excited to get that started really soon. And again, we'll be adding that to our schedule. So the best place and way to stay connected to us is to follow us on Facebook, as well as Instagram. You can check out our websites, whether it be the kanayokana.net or Hawaii Nui Akea's website, manoa.hawaii.edu/HSHK, and we'll have all of that information available for you. But stay connected with us. We're loving bringing Lei Ānuenue into your hale and into your homes. So please come back. And again, a big mahalo to Meleanna and aloha no. So let me just unmute her so we can say a final aloha and mahalo to everybody. And have a beautiful weekend and aloha.